And welcome to Season 2 of the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. I am your host, Tyler Belosky, and this is the other host,
Eli Belosky.
And welcome back. This is 2017 Fantasy Football for you, and we're excited. We're just getting started this year. Last year, we kind of had to finish late. We had to finish early because of we had to go on the DL. Eli, remember, I got an injury to my leg. You popped out your elbow.
Yeah.
So we had to shut it down a little early last year, but we're going to be back and better than ever this year, and we're going to hopefully go throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
All right, this is episode 1 of season 2 for us, and just to kind of go back and to summarize how we do things here, we just pretty much tell how it is. You know, we don't worry about ADPs and, draft stock and all this other jazz. We don't break down if Adrian Peterson runs 1,000 yards when his linemen are eating watermelon that Sunday morning. We don't care about that stuff. We just tell you how it is. Draft this guy, don't draft him. Start this guy, don't start this guy. So that's how we do it, Eli. That's right.
Yeah.
So tell us, Eli, are we? We're gonna have a lot of guests this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna have my brother next week. We're gonna have Bill King again talking about tight ends. We're gonna have probably Bill Rugio talking about running backs and a couple other guys, receivers. We got some interviews we're gonna do with some other podcasters. So we are pumped this year. We also pretty much just stay to the regular PPR/standard leagues. We don't really mess around with dynasties and the new things, the best balls. We just keep it simple, redraft league. That's how we do things. We're kind of all over the place right now. It's our first one for the season, so just bear with us. We got some new sponsors this year coming up throughout the season. The first one is Pristine Auction. We want to thank them for sponsoring our show. Pristine Auction is awesome. You go there, pristineauction.com. You can bid on memorabilia, bats, balls for baseball fans, helmets and jerseys, and footballs and pitchers, and they have everything there, pristineauction.com. Authorized, generic, everything is real legit. And you can, like I said, pristineauction.com. Check them out. Super cheap. You can get a jersey signed by Adrian Peterson for like $50, $60. You can't even get that without the signature for that much. That's how awesome Pristine Auction is. Those are great guys, and they're sponsoring our Nines, which is news, injuries, notes, entertainment, and stats.
Yeah, we added the stats part from last year.
Yeah, that's one thing Eli contributed so far. He thought, Dad, let's make the S mean stats. So that's what we're going to do. By the way, Eli and I, we're father son. Eli's 9, almost 10. A lot of people are saying, whoa, 9-year-old doing fantasy football? Yeah, he knows his stuff, guys. He's doing his own research. He does his own writing. So, guys, he's legit. We got a couple people out there in the Twitter world who know him, who's giving a lot of praise. So
I'm very famous out in the Twitter world.
He is very famous, and he's probably a little more famous than me. So, but anyways, so let's get to our Pristine Auction 9s. First one up. Now, granted, we're starting a little later than normal, so unless you guys live under a rock, you probably already know these things. But we're going to go right into it. Marshawn Lynch goes to the Oakland Raiders. He's a new starting running back out there. Eddie Lacy is going to the Seattle Seahawks. He's the new running back out there. And Jeremy Maclin, wide receiver, left Kansas City, and now he's going to Baltimore to get the ball thrown to him by Joe Flacco. Eli, what do you got for our other 9s?
Well, the fourth one is Eric Decker goes to Tennessee. Jamal Charles goes to Denver, which I was surprised by that. I didn't know that until about less than an hour ago.
That's right. He was in school, so he's excuse me. He had school, so he was a little behind on that one. But yeah, he left Kansas City. Now he's in Denver.
And Adrian Peterson goes to New Orleans.
Yeah, the excuse me, the old man's still going. Behind Mark Ingram. Him and Ingram are going to have a good battle this year. That may have to be one of our famous candy bar bets later this year.
Yeah, I'm picking Ingram.
Oh, nice. I'll take Peterson all day. All right, next one up is Dennis Pitta, tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. He is out and done for this season, and most likely he's going to retire. He separated his hip again, so he is done. As entertainment goes, Tony Romo and both Jay Cutler retired from the league. Romo's going to CBS, and Cutler is going to Fox to be analyst in the booth. And then just to catch up on some of the NFL draft, Back in April, Leonard Fournette went to Jacksonville. Christian McCaffrey went to Carolina. Mike Williams, San Diego. And we have a couple other guys because tonight we're going to be breaking down the AFC preview, going team by team, player by player, tell you where they are to be drafted. So that's the Pristine Auction 9s segment of the podcast. I feel like we're talking really fast, so we should probably slow it down a little bit.
Slow it down.
Yes. We have 45 minutes to 60 minutes to do this, so let's just slow it down, take a deep breath. So let's jump right into our AFC preview, Eli. We're going to start off with the world champ New England Patriots. I have quarterback Tom Brady. If you want to draft him, he's going anywhere from the first to third round. He's definitely a QB1.
Of course.
Of course. I mean, he's 5 Super Bowl rings. He's got a ton of targets this year. New England decided to sign and draft 16 running backs and 16 wide receivers. So he's going to have a ton of options to go through. Obviously, some of them were cut. But, yeah. So like I said, we just try to keep it real. You know, we're going to tell you, draft him, don't draft him. Next up is running back Mike Gillislee. I have him as a starter right now in New England. I think he's going to do great. But I have him as an RB2 in your lineup. You probably pick him up anywhere from the 4th to 6th round would be a good place to pick him up. James White, either flex him, put him on your bench, bye-week filler type of guy. Anywhere after the 8th round would be a good pickup. And then Dion Lewis, if he can stay healthy, I guess he could be the number 1 running back out there in New England. But the health scares me, so he's a bench bye-week filler. Probably just pick him up on free agency.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Brendan Cooks. He's a weak number 1, a solid number 2 wide receiver, and he's going really early in the 2nd round. But I would not do that. I'd get him in the 3rd and 4th round if you can.
Yeah.
And do you have anything else other than yes? That's all right. That's cool. It's the first one, buddy. It's all right. All right. So the next one up is Julian Edelman. He's a solid number 2. He's going to catch 90 to 100 balls again, even when Brandon Cook's there. Tom Brady loves Edelman. So I'd say anywhere from 4 to 6 rounds would be great. And then the other one, you have Malcolm Mitchell, you have Chris Hogan, and a handful of other guys out there, Danny Amendola. All of them would probably be bye-week fillers, bench, keep them on the waivers. They're not really worth the draft pick, I don't think. And then Gronk.
Of course, 1st to 3rd round.
Yeah. If you take him first, you probably should be taking him in the back end of the 1st round, because if you take him before 7th, that to me would be a waste of a draft pick. He's so hurt. He is a solid number 1. Take him in the 2nd, 3rd round, though, would probably be better, unless you really love him, I guess. So, you got anything else to add with New England?
Well, they do have a lot of running backs, so I don't really know which one is going to be the starter.
Yeah, no one really does. I don't even think Bill Belichick does. He'll start Gillislee 1 week, bench him the next, and put in Dion Lewis, and then put you in week 3. So,
but they got their wide receiver and quarterback to make up for it.
That's right. Yeah, they are going to be Super Bowl contenders once again, and I think Brady's going to get ring number 6.
No.
All right, so let's move on to the Miami Dolphins. Break it down for us, Eli.
Well, Ryan Tannehill, he's probably either going to be a flex or a bench. You should probably take him not too early, probably like the 8th to 10th round maybe. Because, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of targets in Miami, and they do not have a good offense.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're getting a little bit better. They're trying to do some things in Miami. Again, this is his 2nd full year of playing fantasy football, his 2nd full year of doing a podcast. So he is coming from the mindset of a beginner. You know, I have 20 plus years of experience in fantasy football, fantasy sports, so I can go a little more in depth than Eli can. But so Eli would tell you, for your beginners, 2nd, 3rd year guys, you know, that's how he's seeing these guys. You know, we just went through our notes before the podcast started. Some of them were way out there, so I had to reel them in a little bit. But listen to Eli. He knows what he's doing. By the end of the year, he's got the championship all wrapped up. All right, so keep going, Eli. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and 2 running backs, Jay Ajayi and Kenyon Drake. Those are probably going to be benches. Jay Ajayi, you could probably go running back to maybe a flex. And try and draft him in the 5th to 7th round probably, because he probably won't be there after that.
He definitely won't be there after the 4th round. But I don't like him, so I wouldn't draft him the 2nd or 3rd round. But yeah, if he's there the 5th, 6th, go for it, pick him up. But yeah, he's definitely a salad 2 flex position. I wouldn't have him as my number 1.
Definitely not. Then wide receiver Jarvis Landry, you should probably get him probably 4th, 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th round. If he probably won't be there in the 5th round, but if he is, definitely take him.
He does lead the league in receptions the last 3 years total. So if you play in PPR, he'll be that guy. However, a lot of the times he'll catch 16 balls in one game and 2 in the next. So it's
he's
a hit
not very consistent.
Yeah, he's a hit or miss kind of guy.
And then he's a number 2 wide receiver. Probably a week 1 solid 2. Then Devontae Parker, he is a bye week filler. Don't draft him early. He's not gonna do a lot with Landry there. And then there's Kenny Stills. I would not draft him. For me, it's just a waste of a draft pick.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Parker and Stills, they're bye week fillers. Get them on the waivers. Stills is starting to pick up steam a little bit in the industry, but I would stay away from him. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you're desperate for a wide receiver, get him, but there's way better out there.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Danny Amendola than Kenny Stills.
Yeah, and then the tight end, Julius Thomas, probably the 8th to 9th round. He's, 8, 9, 10. He's probably a number 2 tight end because he doesn't have a very good quarterback.
Yeah, it's a shame that he's been bouncing around lately from Denver when he was tearing it up with Peyton Manning. Then he went to Jacksonville, and now he's in Miami, and just
a decrease in quarterback skill.
I guess this is better than Jacksonville, but I wouldn't trust him. We're just gonna skip over to the Jets because they're gonna be super quick and easy. Really, the only person you really would run and draft is Bilal Powell. He's a solid 2 flex running back. You can get him anywhere from 7 to 9. Forte, if you want to get the handcuff, he's a flex. He's getting old. He's just not doing that well anymore. So get him anywhere from 8 to 10. They don't really have a quarterback to draft, so I'm not going to mention him. Quincy Enunwa, I guess you can have him as a bye week filler or a flex. But get him late, anything after 10.
Yeah, and all of the receivers left. I mean, Eric Decker went to Tennessee, and Brandon Marshall went to New York Giants.
Yeah, so they're just going to be a mess this year. If they don't end up with a number 1 pick, then they're playing too well. The Jets are just going to be horrible this year. Yeah. They're going to be the Cleveland Browns of last year. Yeah. All right, so Eli, let's go through the Buffalo Bills.
Tyrod Taylor, he's probably a backup quarterback. Probably like the 8th, 9th round, probably. I mean, he does have a couple targets in Buffalo, but I mean, and he can run the ball, but I don't see him having a blowout year this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't start him other than for a bye week filler or if you're a streamer. Yeah. Streamers is big, streaming quarterbacks. Yeah, he's a solid 2. If you play 2 quarterback leagues, then you can definitely start him for the second quarterback.
Like in the Scott Fishbowl League.
Yes, we were in the Scott Fishbowl League, and we'll definitely hit that up hopefully by the end of this podcast.
Then running back LaShawn McCoy, get him in the 3rd, 4th round, probably 2nd, 3rd round. He's a number 1 running back. I mean, I guess if you get like Le'Veon Bell first, then I guess like if you get a flip, then Le'Veon Bell, LaShawn McCoy, obviously. But yeah, he's gonna do pretty well this year.
Yeah, he's mostly a late 1st round, definitely 2nd round. So I've seen him fall to 3rd, but he's right around the flip at the 1st and 2nd round. He's just going to be amazing this year. I have him right now early, my 3rd running back overall. I have David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, then LaShawn McCoy. I'm not high on Zeke Elliott like everyone else is, but that would be for a different podcast. Who's your wide receivers, Eli?
Oh,
You got Sammy Watkins.
we got Sammy Watkins, probably third, fourth round, maybe second round if you want to reach. He's a kind of a solid one, definitely a solid two. And we got Zay Jones. I wouldn't try and draft him. You could try and pick him up on the waiver wire, but I wouldn't suggest trying to draft him. And then Charles Clay, same thing. I don't think it'll be a very useful draft pick, so just get him on the waiver wire or with trades.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys where you just want to play the matchup. If they're playing Cleveland, if they're playing the Rams, someone who has a weaker defense, that's who you want to play with, Charles Clay. As far as Sammy Watkins, just a couple minutes, just be careful of his injury. Like everyone loves him this year. Everyone loves him. He's coming off an injury. I want nothing to do with Sammy Watkins this year, unless it's like week 13 and he can stay healthy. I do not want him on my team. All right, so we're going to move to the AFC North and the Baltimore Ravens. I have Joe Flacco as the he's the starting quarterback. For me, he's a bye week filler, so that means you can either just draft him after the 10th or 12th round, or just pick him up off the waivers. However, they're going to throw the ball 700 times this year because they really don't have a running back, a solid running back, and with Jeremy Maclin and Mike Wallace, a couple other guys, I think they're going to throw a lot. I don't think they'll win a lot, but they'll definitely throw in a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so running backs, you got Danny Woodhead, came over from
The Chargers.
The Chargers, yep. He's a weak number 2, a solid flex, I would say. I wouldn't have him as my starting number 1 running back, but he'll get a lot of catches this year, and you can definitely get him in the 7th to 9th round. Another running back is Terrence West. He's okay. I wouldn't really draft him. He's a bye week filler for me. And then Kenneth Dixon. After the 9th round, that's going to be a steal because he is suspended for the first 4 games, and some people may not remember that when it comes draft time in August. So when you do draft him, see him as a week number 2 solid flex.
Okay.
And then we got Jeremy Maclin, as we said. He came over from Kansas City. He's a week number 2 solid flex for me, anywhere from the 10th to 12th round. I just don't see him fitting well as a number 1 receiver in Baltimore. I think Mike Wallace is the number 1 wide receiver. Even though I have him as the flex, if I were to play him, and you can get him in the 8th to 10th round. But I think Wallace is the number 1. Macklin's the number 2 there in Baltimore. And you got Bashard Perriman. He's the number 3. He's a bye week filler. I probably wouldn't even pick him up off of waivers. If I had to pick between him and Danny Amendola, I'd still pick up Amendola. He's gonna get you
he's gonna get the touchdown catches from Brady.
Yep, and he'll get the 6 or 7 catches also.
Yeah.
And then Benjamin Watson. He's a bye week filler. Even though Pitter got hurt, Benjamin's old. He's older than old. But he's one of those guys you want to play the matchup on. So just watch the matchups, and then that's when you want to get Benjamin.
Yeah.
Eli. Oh, yeah. Let's go to the Cleveland Browns, Eli.
Well, they're going to have a terrible season again.
I think they'll win 5 or 6 games, though. It's not going to be as bad as last year. They upgraded their offensive line. The defense, they got a little solid in the draft, so...
Yeah.
But they'll still be horrible.
Yeah.
They'll still be horrible.
Well, we got Brock Osweiler and or Cody Kessler. Don't draft either of them.
Nope.
And we got the Crow, Isaiah Crowell. He's probably a flex. You can get him probably in the 7th to 9th round, maybe. And we got Duke Johnson, 12th to 14th round. He's a bench. And Kenny Britt, he's the starting wide receiver. He's a bye week filler for me.
Yeah, same thing. A lot of people like him this year. I just don't see it. They don't have a quarterback in Cleveland.
They never have. They never will.
Yeah. Other than in the 80s with Bernie Kosar.
Yeah.
But Yeah, just like Corey Coleman, as we were talking about in a minute. They don't have a quarterback, so I'm not going to draft them. I just
Mm.
can't. I don't have confidence in these two guys. Yes, they're going to have to be thrown to, but look who's throwing the ball to them. So say a little more about Corey Coleman.
Corey Coleman, I am gonna take him in the 8th to 10th round. He's either gonna be a flex or a bench for me. I don't see him doing anything big. Like you said, he doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, he's also coming off a hamstring injury from OTAs, so just watch that. Hamstrings can either be hit or miss. Um, so just be careful of him. If you can trade him, if you get him to a Browns fan, go for it. But I want to, other than Isaiah Correll, I really want to have any of the Cleveland Browns on my team.
And then there's David Najoles. He's a rookie. Stay way away from him. He's not going to do anything.
Yeah, the tight end. Rookie tight ends really don't do a whole lot. So just, yeah, as Eli said.
Especially tight ends in Cleveland.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go over to the Cincinnati Bengals. And Andy Dalton, the quarterback. He's a quarterback 1. A week 1, definitely a solid 2.
Mm-hmm.
Get him anywhere after the 10th round. He would be a bye week filler too if you do the what's it called?
Scott Fishbowl?
No, yeah, you could do it in the Scott Fishbowl, but there's something. Oh, if you stream quarterbacks, he's a good streaming quarterback. You got Jeremy Hill at quarterback. Jeremy Hill at running back. He's a solid. He's a 2 flex. A lot of people like him. Anywhere after the 8th round would be good.
And last year, we took Genovi Bernard in one of the leagues we were in. And Jeremy Hill just kept stealing the touchdowns and rushes and yards and all of that.
Yeah, he is definitely the number 1 running back right now. You got Gio Bernard. He's a flex. I heard this the other day, and I can't remember which one of those two guys are coming off an injury. I think it's Bernard.
Yeah, it was Bernard.
Yeah, so if you want to get him late, even get him on the waiver wire because people will be scared of the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Joe Mixon, the rookie running back. People love this guy. They think he's way better than Fournette coming out of college. The reason he fell so much because he had off-field problems, and a lot of people say he's going to be the number 1 running back at the end of the year. I don't really see it. He's a rookie. It's tough to have rookie running backs. I mean, Zeke Elliott did it last year, Todd Gurley a couple years ago, but it's Cincinnati and their line. He may be the number 1, but he's not going to play like a number 1. So I have him as a week 2 solid flex, and if people are sleeping on him or are scared of him, you can get him after the 9th, 10th round. That's where I would draft him. If you want to take him early, I'll take someone else instead and beat you.
Yeah.
Then you got the number 1 wide receiver in Cincinnati, AJ Green. Yeah, we like him this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a solid number 1. If you don't get him in the first round, you don't even play fantasy football because he's not getting out of the first round. I will take him all day, every day. Rookie John Ross. Same thing. He's a rookie. Rookie receivers don't do a whole lot. So anything after the 9th round, a bye week filler maybe.
But he ran the 40-yard dash in, I think it was 4.17 seconds or something like that.
He had the fastest. Yeah, he was the fastest one this year.
Yeah.
And that's why he comes up with the 9s in stats. Right there's Eli contributing.
Yep.
And then you got second-year receiver Tyler Boyd. I thought he was going to do great last year. He didn't. Same thing with this year. He's a bye week filler. Keep him on your bench in case AJ Green goes down again. And then you got the top 6 tight end Tyler Eifert. Anywhere 6th, 7th round is where most of the tight ends are going this year. Definitely start him. Definitely keep him on your bench. However, be cautious. He does get injured, so you may want to draft a second tight end. Yeah. If not, keep one right in your back pocket to get off the waiver wires. All right, Eli, we're going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, your favorite team, and let's see who you got.
Well, quarterback, obviously Big Ben. He'll probably go in the 7th to 9th round. But watch his injuries because he's really hit or miss with the injuries. He's a number 1 quarterback. Le'Veon Bell, He's gonna go in the top 7 picks, I think. He's a number 1 running back. Antonio Brown, same thing, top 7 picks. He's a number 1. Martavius Bryant, coming off the suspension from a 1-year suspension from last year. I think he's gonna do really good. I think I'm taking him in like the 5th to 7th round, and maybe 6th to 8th. He's a number 2 for me. And then there's this Juju Smith-Schuster.
Good job.
He's a rookie, so if you do draft him, I would bench him. But there are a lot of other options in Pittsburgh. You got Sammy Coates. You got
Eli Rogers.
You got
People like Juju this year, even though he's a rookie. He's been practicing in the slot, so that's why we have him over Eli and Sammy Coates.
Yeah.
Who you got for tight end, bud?
We got Jesse James. I would stay away from him as much as you can. He is not gonna do very well this year, I don't think, because he's a backup tight end. So, but he
starts this year because Ladarius Green got cut. So
yeah,
he's the starter.
last year he was the backup.
Yes.
So I don't really see anything big happening with him.
Yeah, and there's so many targets in Pittsburgh. Yeah, he'll get 3 or 4 catches, 5 catches a game, but he would be that bye week streaming tight end guy. I wouldn't start him. So let's move on to the AFC South, and we will go to the Indianapolis Colts. And I will say the quarterback is Andrew Luck. I think it's a pretty safe bet. He'll start this year. He just coming off shoulder surgery. I did that last year too when he got hurt. He's a number 1 quarterback. A lot of people taking him 2nd to 3rd, 4th round. I say hold off and get him 5 through 7.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get such a good such better position players than the number 1 quarterback. My running back, I got Frank Gore. He's a solid 2 flex. This guy is old, but he is solid. He doesn't get hurt.
He's like AP, except he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, he puts up 1,000 yards every year. This may be his last year because I have Marion Mack. That's right, Marion Mack. He's a rookie. They like this kid. He's fast. They also have Robert Turbin. Both of them are bye-week fillers. Keep them on your bench. So I really wouldn't worry about drafting them unless you want that handcuff for Gore. You got number 1.
I don't think you'll need a handcuff for Gore. He usually never gets injured.
Yeah, he really doesn't. No, yeah, number 1 wide receiver T.Y. Hilton, or you can call him Ty. Ty Hilton. You did that last year. You called him Ty Hilton once. Definitely you can get him in the late 1st round, but stay the 2nd to 3rd round to play safe. If you get that flip, you want to take Jordy Nelson and T.Y. Hilton, go for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But probably mid to late 2nd round is a good spot for him.
Yeah.
Dante Moncrief, I like this kid. I like him a lot. He's just so injured.
That's what you said last year, and he didn't do anything.
Because he's always injured. But I like this kid. I like Dante Moncrief. He's going to catch a lot of balls. He's a solid 2. He's a flex. Anything after the 7th, 8th round, you can definitely get him there. And the tight end, Jack Doyle, he's borderline number 1 for me, in my opinion, actually. He's a borderline number 1 tight end. He's one of those, well, do I take him or do I take Martellus Bennett from Green Bay? You know, it's a coin flip, in my opinion. So if you don't want him, keep him on your bench when you take Tyler Eifert and he goes down. Eli, who do you got for the Houston Texans?
Well, there's Deshaun Watson, the rookie quarterback. Me and my friend, we were saying that he was definitely going to go to Houston, and he did go to Houston. He's probably...
So not only can Eli do podcasts, he can be a draft analyst. So watch out, Mel Kiper Jr. and Todd McShay. Eli's taking you guys a job. Sorry, go for it. Keep going.
All right, he's probably a backup quarterback if you're going to draft him at all. But next year, watch out. He's definitely going to be good. There's running back Lamar Miller, probably in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Maybe he might be there in the 6th round, but I don't see him falling.
He's just so inconsistent. We had him last year, too, and he's just as horrible. He thought he'd come over from Miami and be awesome, but he is just horrible, horrible, horrible. But yes, I agree with you. He's a week 1 solid 2 running back.
Yeah, definitely a 2. Alfred Blue, if you're gonna draft him, definitely bench him. I don't see him doing very big with Lamar Miller, because I mean, even though Lamar Miller is is inconsistent, they're not gonna give it to Blue.
Yeah, and they drafted a rookie running back too. They like him. I don't know his name. He's a rookie running back. Take him if you can find his name. Maybe we can get his name for you next week. I don't know. So.
DeAndre Hopkins, probably first, second. He won't be there in the 3rd round unless you're drafting with like first year people.
Yeah, that's one person, Eli, that when you draft, sometimes you draft based on names, and that's why I think you take him in the 1st round. But he is slipping a little bit into the 3rd and 4th round because of his quarterback. He doesn't have a quarterback. He's got Tom Savage or Deshaun Watson, the rookie. So, but like I said, Eli drafts sometimes based on name, which can kind of hurt you sometimes. Not you, Eli, but you out listening to us, which is why when we're going to do our mock drafts in a couple weeks, you'll see that when we have Matt Forte up, like last year, Eli loved Matt Forte, but he was also drafting based on the name. And that's one thing you want to kind of shy away from, is based on just the name. That's why we're telling you straight up how it is. We like DeAndre Hopkins, but he doesn't have a quarterback. Not yet.
Not yet.
So just kind of stay, try to discern Hopkins as the name or what he really can do, and that's probably like 2nd, 3rd round.
Yeah. He's definitely probably a okay 1, definitely a 2.
Yeah.
Then there's Will Fuller. I'm taking him in the 9th to 11th round. He's a bench for me. And then the tight end C.J. Fedorowicz. I have no idea.
He is awesome. I don't know if you've looked into him yet, but I love this kid. This is my is my RG3 of last year. I loved RG3 last year. This is my RG3 this year.
RG3 did nothing.
You're right, he didn't. But C.J. Fedorowicz turned it on late last year. He's got a rookie quarterback or Tom Savage throwing to him, and those guys, smaller quarterbacks, like the tight ends. So
yeah, especially rookie quarterbacks in Houston.
Definitely get C.J. Fedorowicz right around the 9th, 10th, 11th round.
Yeah, and if you do, then put him on your bench. I don't see him being a starter, at least in fantasy. In real life,
he's starter.
Definitely.
He's one of those guys. If you draft Gronk, you want to have that security blanket. Then take C.J. Fedorowicz.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Eli, let's go over to Jacksonville. You're back to back. Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, Blake Bortles, I'm not taking him before the 8th round.
I don't even want him.
He's probably a number 2 or a bench.
Yeah.
Well, in the Scott Fishbowl, he's a number 2 or bench.
Yeah, because in Scott Fishbowl you can start 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He would be that 2nd quarterback.
Maybe. But yeah, and then there's Leonard Fournette, my favorite in college. He's going probably 3rd, 4th round. Week 1, definitely a solid 2. And then there's T.J. Yeldon, the handcuff. He's going 9th or 10th round. He's going to be a bench, though. Allen Robinson, probably the 4th or 5th round. He's a number 2 for me. And then Allen Hurns, 5th to 7th round. And he's a flex, maybe a bench. Probably a flex, though. Or number 2.
Yeah, with Allen, those guys are going to be great just because Jacksonville is going to always be behind throwing the ball. So they're going to get a ton of points. But that's the only reason why, because they're going to be losing 65-0. So Blake Bortles is going to be the superstar quarterback because they have to throw from behind. So, yeah, Allen and Allen are great. They're both number 2 quarterbacks, and as Eli said. So just be cautious. It's Jacksonville. They don't know what they're doing still, but I think they'll still do better than the Jets. I think you and I can do better than the Jets this year.
Yeah.
Not putting on the Jets, but come on. All right, so we're going to wrap up the last AFC South team with the Tennessee Titans. Marcus Mariota, he's a quarterback 1. Everyone loves him this year. For me, I'm struggling with him a little bit, as in why everyone loves him. His targets are okay. He can run the ball. He's coming off an injury, though. But he's a quarterback 1. You can get him anywhere from 7th, 8th, 9th round. I think it's a good spot for him. Anything too early, you'd be reaching a little bit this year. Next year, maybe creep up there to
once they get some more
6th,
wide
7th,
receivers.
Yeah. Running back DeMarco Murray, he's a solid number 1 running back. Wow, that's a good sentence.
Yeah.
Wow, I did it again. Late first, mid second round would probably be a good spot for him. If you can steal him in the 3rd round, go for it.
I don't really like DeMarco Murray this year. I said that last year and he did great, but this year I just don't think he's going to do it because the Tennessee the Tennessee coach, he really wants the Mariota throwing the ball.
Yeah, I think Mariota will get a lot more passes this year, and DeMarco may see some decline in his rushing, also because of Derrick Henry's coming up.
Yeah.
The handcuff to Murray. I think if you get one, you should get the other.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Murray first, then Henry. So Henry, to me, would be a week 2, a solid flex. Anything after the 9th round, I think, is ideal. Though some people are trying to get him in the 6th, 7th round. I think that's way too high for Derrick Henry.
Definitely.
Some of Mariota's targets, newly acquired Eric Decker. The guy only catches touchdowns if he's healthy, when he's healthy. But that still makes him a week 2 solid flex. Anything after the 8th, 9th round would probably be a good spot for him.
Mm-hmm.
Tajay Sharp and Rashard Matthews, I think they're both bye-week fillers.
Mm-hmm.
They catch a lot of balls, but now that Eric Decker's there, they're going to see some balls thrown Decker's way. And rookie Corey Davis. Now, this is one wide receiver I may draft because all they're doing is talking about Corey Davis and how awesome he is, and Mariota's teaming up with him. So I would put him as a bye-week filler / week flex. But I would definitely try to take him in the 8th, 9th, 10th round if he's still there. Because people are going to reach for him because he's the super cool wide receiver, rookie wide receiver. He's going to be the next Beckham. And I don't know about that, but
no.
That's maybe one receiver I'm drafting. And then you got tight end Delaney Walker. He's a solid 5-6 top tight end in the league. Tight ends mostly are going 6th, 7th, 8th round, so I think that's a good spot for him. Mario is going to be looking at him again as a team up in the red zone. Moving on to the AFC West, Eli, let's hear about the Denver Broncos.
Well, they don't have a quarterback to start off. They have Paxton Lynch as a quarterback. If you're gonna draft him, don't start him unless it's like a bye-week filler. Even then, I don't think I would start him. Even though his targets are good, he is not good.
Yep.
And then running back, there's C.J. Anderson. I see him going maybe 5th, 6th round. He's either a number 2 or a flex. Jamal Charles, I don't see him doing a lot this year.
Yeah, he may not even make the team this year. He signed as a free agent, and so a lot of people though may not even think he's gonna make the team because of your next running back.
There's Devontae Booker. He's a bench if you draft him. Then there's Demaryius Thomas. Probably 4th, 5th, 6th round. He's a number 2. Emmanuel Sanders. He's 6th, 8th round. He's a flex for me. And then rookie Jake Butt from Michigan. He's injured.
But he should be back in time for this regular season to start.
Yeah.
Paxton Lynch needs to hit somebody because Thomas and Sanders are going to get double teamed, so Jake Butt's going to be there. I love Demaryius Thomas. I just wish he would be on a different team or have a better quarterback.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys, as soon as Jay Cutler and Peyton Manning left, he's just gone downhill all the last 2-3 years. He's got to get on a different team. He's got to get out of his contract and move to someplace, Seattle or maybe even Arizona when Larry Fitzgerald retires after this coming
In
year.
like 10 years.
Yeah, right. Keeps playing. But yeah, Thomas has got to get out of Denver, or they got to get a quarterback in there.
Mm-hmm.
Good job with Denver, Eli. All right, let's move on to Kansas City. Alex Smith is your quarterback there. He is probably just a bye-week filler, streamer filler. Don't even worry about drafting Alex Smith. The running backs, Kenyon Hunt, Kareem Hunt, Spencer Ware, and you got this one. Chardalian West.
Charderick West.
Yeah. All of them to me are bye-week fillers, maybe flexes. Hunt is the big name in Kansas City, but it's Kansas City. I'm going to stay away from everyone in Kansas City other than tight end Travis Kelce. He's a solid number one. He's my number one ranked tight end this year. I'll tell you that right now. And you can get him. I would take him second to fourth round. If he falls later, take him then. But he's going second to fourth round. And I would definitely take Kelce. Tyreek Hill, he's now the new number one since Jeremy Maclin left. But he's a flash in the pan for me. I want to see it again. I want to see it again this year and next year, and then we can start talking. He reminds me of a lot of Doug Baldwin out of Seattle. Doug Baldwin did nothing for the first 6-7 years of his career.
Yeah.
2 years ago, he blows up for 14 touchdowns in like 4 games. Last year, he did okay, but I see that just keep going down. He is Cam Newton, same thing. He had a couple good years, had MVP year. Last year was horrible. So Tyreek Hill, you got to show something to me before I draft you. So Travis Kelce is the answer to Kansas City. Anyone else than that, good luck with that. And I just got an editor's note or producer's note from Eli. So we're going to do that. So I will take the Oakland Raiders. All right. So Eli, why don't you, before we do that, Eli, take the Los Angeles Chargers.
Not the San Diego Chargers anymore.
That's right. And soon to be not the Oakland Raiders. They're moving to LA or Las Vegas.
Yep.
All right, so go hit it up. The Chargers.
Phillip Rivers, he's a number 2 quarterback. He's going in the 8th to 10th round. Melvin Gordon, he's probably 2nd to maybe 4th round.
No way. Sorry, I got to cut you off on that one. He is a first round running back, second on the flip. He is my running back this year. If I can,
same as last year.
He is going to blow it up this year. If I can't get one of the big 3 studs, I will take him. I may even take him over Zeke Elliott. But in all seriousness, he is a number 1 running back for late first, early second round. Can you do that? Can you go with me on that one?
Sure.
All right. If he's there in the 3rd, take him, but he won't be. All right, go for it.
Then Keenan Allen, the first wide receiver, probably 2nd to 4th round.
Yeah, he's coming off an injury, and he's coming off an injury.
He's a number 2 wide receiver for that reason, and for his reason, and the quarterback's reason. And there's Travis Benjamin. He's a flex for me. I don't see him doing very much this year. Mike Williams, the rookie, he is injured, so I'm not going to take him. 1, because he's a rookie. 2, because he doesn't have a quarterback. 3, because
Phillip Rivers is a quarterback. He's pretty good.
Nah.
He's getting old. I'll give you that. He's getting old and beat up on the offensive line.
Yeah. And Mike Williams, he's a rookie. He has 2 good wide receivers in front of him. Pretty good wide receivers in front of him.
Yeah, and there's another wide receiver in front of him too. I just can't think of his name. But again, he's a rookie, and yeah.
He's also injured, so that's why I'm not taking him. And then Antonio Gates, he's a bench for me.
Yeah. Antonio Gates is definitely a bench. He could be a bye-week filler, and he's going to get some touchdowns this year because they want to get him the tight end touchdown record. One name I forgot to tell you to look up is Hunter Henry. He's the new number 1 tight end there in Los Angeles. He's a weak number 1 tight end, solid number 2. If you play multiple tight ends, he's a flex. Anywhere after the 10th round or so, you can definitely pick him up. So sorry for not giving you that information, Hunter Henry. All right, Oakland Raiders, last team of the night. Derek Carr signing a huge contract the last couple weeks. He is a solid quarterback number one. People are taking him as early as the third round. That's a little high for me. I would say 5th, 6th, 7th round would be ideal. Then you have newly acquired Marshawn Lynch.
Skittles!
That's right. Skittles is the man. I love him this year. I want him and Melvin Gordon both on my team. A lot of people are scared of him because he took the year off.
So what? He's beast mode.
He is beast mode. That means he's got an extra year of legs on him now. So he's traveling the world, but he's not getting hit by 600-pound linemen or defensive linemen.
Yep.
So I like Marshawn Lynch as a weak number one, solid number two, though.
Yeah.
Anywhere from the 3rd and 5th round, I will take him there, and I will beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver Amari Cooper. He's
my man this year.
You like him this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's
got Derek Carr.
Yes.
And there's no one else there.
That's right, and they have a solid offensive line once again. I have Cooper as a weak number one and solid number two. Anywhere from I've seen him go early or late 1st round, but that's high, so I say 2nd or 4th round would be ideal. And then his tag team partner, Michael Crabtree, is he's a solid 2 flex for me anywhere after the 8th round. And newly acquired Jared Cook for tight end, taking over for Clyde Walford.
Clyde Walford.
I love Clyde. Come on, guys. Let's get it together over there in Oakland. Jared Cook, he's a bye-week filler. If you want to stream tight ends, go for Jared Cook. He'll get a lot of passes because Derek Carr likes the tight ends, but...
but he also likes the wide receivers.
Yes, because he has some pretty good ones. So that's going to wrap it up for us for the AFC preview. Next week, we are going to do the top 10 quarterbacks because we have my brother is going to do a guest spot for us. Last year, he talked about running backs, so this year we're going to throw him a curveball and have him talk top 10 quarterbacks. And so we're going to hold off for the NFC preview for 2 weeks. So we'll do that. Eli, we're going to bring back the famous candy bar bet. And
yes!
So last year we had it. So pretty much what we do is we take some players. Last year one of them was Antonio Brown versus Odell Beckham Jr. because I'm a Giants fan. Eli's a Steelers fan. Whatever player had the most fantasy points, the other will win. Wins a candy bar. So we'll do that one again. And so our first one though will be who finishes higher in our fantasy leagues. We have 3 leagues. We have a family league, we have a church league, and we have a work league. So, Eli, our candy bar bet will be who finishes higher in each league.
It's me.
And
every single league.
Every single league. And then also we're going to do one where whoever gets the most positive Twitter comments. So if you so when you listen to this, leave a comment on Twitter or on YouTube. So whoever gets the most positive ones, you will win a candy bar. Right now, Eli is up 1-0 because Brandon Marion Lee from the Her Fantasy Football podcast said that Eli is the prodigy of fantasy football, and we need more of him in the industry.
And less of him.
And less of me. I'll get you the exact quote, but that's pretty much paraphrasing it. So thank you, Brandon Marion Lee, for that. You just made Eli's head go from size 7 baseball hat to a size 13.
Yeah.
So that's going to wrap it up for the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, you can find us on YouTube by just typing in the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast. You can find us on Twitter by going to Tyler Belawski, Belawske. You can also email us questions, comments, concerns, anything you want about fantasy football, I guess, or life, at Tyler and Eli fftips@gmail.com. And that's how you can reach us. Right now, we're just sticking to YouTube until we can figure out a handful of other things. We want to get some guests on. We're just going to have fun again this year. We love it. We love fantasy sports. And it's just a blast to do this with Eli. He's 9-10 years old. He knows his stuff. Later on this season, we'll get my other boys on. It's just a big family affair. My wife's going to get on to ask him some questions. As I said, I got my brother coming on. So it's going to be awesome. Once again, last time, YouTube, the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips podcast, Twitter, Tyler Belawski, and email Tyler and Eli fftips@gmail.com. Eli, do you have any final thoughts for the listeners in
Beast
season 2?
mode is back.
Beast mode is back, baby!
Woo!
All right, have a good night, guys.
See ya.